Hi everyone, this is lecture 3 on topic 10, which is endocrine system, and now we are going to learn about parathyroid glands. The parathyroid glands are small masses on the posterior aspect of the thyroid gland, and they secrete parathyroid hormone or PTH. The function of PTH is to stimulate the osteoclasts, remember the giant bone breakers, to remove calcium from bones and increase the calcium levels in the blood. This figure shows the location of parathyroid glands on the thyroid. This figure illustrates calcium homeostasis. Normal calcium levels of blood are 9 to 11 milligrams per 100 milliliter. If the level of calcium starts rising in blood, then the thyroid gland is stimulated to release calcitonin. Calcitonin levels go up in the blood and it stimulates calcium salt deposit in bone. However, if the level of calcium is falling in blood, then the parathyroid gland is stimulated to release parathyroid hormone PTH. PTH causes the osteoclasts to break down the bone matrix and release calcium ions into the blood, and this calcium ion goes into the blood and the level of calcium is restored. The thymus gland is located posterior to the breastbone sternum. It is in the mediastinal region right above the heart, and it produces two hormones, thymosin and thymopoietin. Both of these hormones play a very important role in the maturation of T lymphocytes. The human body has a pair of adrenal glands that sit on top of the kidneys, just like crowns. So that's why they're also known as suprarenal glands. Supra means above, renal is kidney. The adrenal gland has two regions, the inner adrenal cortex and the outer adrenal medulla. The adrenal cortex is further subdivided into three layers which secrete three different types of hormones. These hormones are mineralocorticoids, which is secreted by the outermost layer or zona glomerulosa, the glucocorticoids secreted by the middle layer, which is zona fasciculata, and sex hormones secreted by the innermost layer or zona reticularis. The adrenal medulla, which is in the inner neural tissue region, it secretes adrenaline and noradrenaline hormones, and these two hormones are together known as catecholamines. This figure shows the location of adrenal gland on top of the kidneys, and then further it shows the layers of adrenal cortex and the adrenal medulla. The mineralocorticoids are secreted by the zona glomerulosa of the adrenal cortex. One of the important examples of a mineralocorticoid is aldosterone. This hormone mainly controls the water and electrolyte balance in blood. It causes increased retention of water and sodium in the body, and thereby it prevents dehydration. The target organ is kidney. The secretion of aldosterone is inhibited or stopped by the ANP hormone, which is made in the heart. This figure shows how increased aldosterone secretion targets the kidney cells, which causes increased retention of sodium ions and water, and this increases the blood volume and blood pressure. Glucocorticoids are secreted by the zona fasciculata, which is the middle layer of the adrenal cortex. Two main examples of glucocorticoids are cortisone and cortisol. Both of these hormones promote normal cell metabolism and they resist stress, so these are known as stress hormones. This is released in response to increased hormonal levels of ACTH. Sex hormones are produced in the inner layer, which is zona reticularis of the adrenal cortex, and small amounts of sex hormones are made throughout life from this region of the adrenal gland. Mainly androgens or male sex hormones are made, but a little bit of estrogen, which is female sex hormone, is also made. The adrenal medulla produces two hormones which are collectively called the catecholamines. These are adrenaline, which is also known as epinephrine, and the other one is noradrenaline, which is also known as norepinephrine. These two hormones produce the fight or flight response by increasing the blood pressure, blood glucose levels, etc. The pancreas is a mixed gland. That means it has both endocrine and exocrine portions. The endocrine portion is made up of pancreatic islets or islets of Langerhans, while the exocrine portion consists of acinar and duct tissues. The pancreatic islets consist of four types of cells: alpha, beta, delta, and F cells. Each cell type produces its own specific hormone. The exocrine part function is production of digestive enzymes. This figure shows the location and the anatomy of pancreas. You can see the pancreatic duct in the center of this leaf-shaped pancreas, and the duct opens into the duodenum. You can see the pancreatic islets in the center with four different cell types, and the exocrine part consisting of the acinar cells in the periphery. The four cell types of the pancreas secrete four different hormones. The alpha cells secrete glucagon, which stimulates the liver to break down glycogen to form glucose. That means it elevates the level of glucose in blood. The beta cells secrete insulin, which causes the blood glucose levels to go down. It increases the rate of glucose absorption by body cells. This diagram illustrates glucose metabolism in the body. The balance is when normal blood glucose level is about 90 milligrams per 100 milliliter of blood. When the blood glucose level starts rising, the pancreas gland secretes insulin. Insulin causes the blood glucose level to fall and brings back homeostasis. When the blood glucose level is getting lowered in the blood, then the opposite needs to take place. So then the pancreas gland would secrete glucagon, and the glucagon would bring the level of glucose up in blood again. The delta cells secrete the hormone somatostatin, which inhibits the production of glucagon and insulin. And the F cells of the islet secrete pancreatic polypeptide, which inhibits gallbladder contractions. Another figure showing the histological organization of the pancreas. The pineal gland is present in the epithalamus. This gland is also known as the epiphysis cerebri, and it contains special secretory cells called pinealocytes that secrete the hormone melatonin. Melatonin regulates the sleep-awake cycle. It also slows the maturation of sperm, oocytes, and the reproductive organs. Usually the production rate of melatonin, it goes up at night and goes down during the day. This is the histological organization of the pineal gland. Moving on to gonads or reproductive glands. There are two types of gonads: ovaries in females and testes in males. Ovaries produce oocytes or eggs and also produce several hormones such as estrogens, progesterone, relaxin. The testes' main function is production of sperm. It also produces male hormones such as androgens, testosterone, inhibin. The figure shows the location of ovary and testis. There are two main hormones of the ovaries, the estrogens and the progesterone. The estrogens stimulate the development of secondary female characteristics and also help in maturation of female reproductive organs. Along with progesterone, estrogens are responsible for promoting breast development and controlling the menstrual cycle. The progesterone acts with estrogen and helps in the regulation of menstrual cycle. It also helps in implantation of the embryo in the uterus and prepares breasts for lactation. The testis produces several androgens. Testosterone is one of the most important androgens, and it is responsible for developing the adult male secondary sex characteristics. Testosterone also promotes growth and maturation of male reproductive system and is essential for sperm cell production. This slide lists some other hormone-producing tissues and organs such as kidneys, heart, placenta. For these structures, hormone production is a secondary function. The kidneys produce erythropoietin hormone, which is responsible for red blood cell production, and calcitriol, which helps in absorbing calcium from the intestines. The heart produces two hormones, the ANP or atrial natriuretic peptide and the BNP, the brain natriuretic peptide. What are the effects of aging on the endocrine system? When a person hits puberty, there is an increase in the level of reproductive hormones in blood. With age, these hormones level go down. This effect is very drastic for women at menopause because the level of estrogen just totally declines.